He says, trust me. Nihilis says, gimme.
Phineas.
Cold Lunch says, yeah, it pairs well with Raper. Jesse Crash says, I was able to dodge like 5 times and now it works. Apex Spreadator says, wait. Apex Spreadator says, invite me to a group. Arsenic Drink says, beware, the drip drop is out there. He will find you. Emplacement Points was downgraded in First Light. Explosive was downgraded in First Light. KYPHR says, join where we go one we go all. Looking for other closed-minded individuals. Join now. Ghosties SCN says, bruh. Ghosties SCN says, ong. Savian Trailyard says, how can I remove quests? I started M in Everfall and moved to First Light but now I can't proceed through the city. Arsenic Drink says, you can abandon them. Ghosties SCN says, you can go to your journal and hit abandon quest right. Dad Body says, wow, that sounds great. I'd like to join. I am ready for the truth. Cold Lunch says, GF. Stu says, I had a nice bug where I didn't spawn in the fort. Sick Case says, GF. Stu says, and had to wait till the fight started to respawn in. Nihilis says, no discernible difference. Demon Cow says, for the Syndicate. Stu says, good fight though. Akanu says, y'all sold your soul to yellow. Maxium says, GG bois. Does EFPS says, GG guys. Cold Lunch says, GGS. Stu says, Ethereum is going roll on launch. Force PLYZ says, of course they will since they boost. JC140 says, /. Jack Sherborg says, OMG. Arsenic Drink says, drip where you at? Come run this dungeon. Connor says, GG. Alec12 says, everyone drop mats to me now or you're /G kicked. Stu says, if you think level starts are why they win I can't help you. iShiny says, yes sir Alec12. Stu says, strats. Chronobug says, Chronobug has reached level 13. iShiny says, I will feed you and only you resources my king. iShiny says, so I can boost you with our exploits.
Yeah, I'm in. I just landed. I'm in Windsward.
Jack Sherborg says, LOL.
Okay.
Dr. Paracelsus says, GG microwave. Maxium says, lel. Officer Fatnitz says, what? Kittredge says, 31, Healer Loaf Amreen. Alec12 says, good you get to stay another hour until next drop off. Wakanda says, GG. iShiny says, yes father. Stu says, at least every war wasn't a complete stomp tonight. Ogre says, LF healer and 2 DPS 4 Starstone tuning orb. Dr. Fail says, that war was almost fun. Dinjit says, I have 500k iron ready for you Alec my king. Jurgen Fearskin says, crying about level disparities like Twitch streamers when PvP is level scaled and it takes minimal effort to get a first set of faction gear. Dr. Fail says, we had them in the start lol. Jurgen Fearskin says, honestly hilarious. Dr. Fail says, then the timer started and we lost. Arsenic Drink says, invite again. Jack Sherborg says, don't tell them my hack where I carry Alec to the zone he doesn't even have to run. iShiny says, SHHH at Jack Sherborg. Does EFPS says, top kills in 2 wars today, I'll take it. iShiny says, they're catching on to us. Arsenic Drink says, sorry Diablo, I'm already in a grow up. Arsenic Drink says, group asterisk. iShiny says, finishing down players, resident sleeper. GAC says, big true at iShiny. Jack Sherborg says, for our secret mounts fueled on Who Pass. Alec12 says, top kills if you're not a ice player is bad. It's Fanta says, if you don't run musket in wars strictly to snipe down players what are you even doing? Alec12 says, knock someone move on. Force PLYZ says, the wars are so laggy now for some reason. iShiny says, ain't no one gonna get a res off in war. iShiny says, might as well let M bleed out. Does EFPS says, yup. Wakanda says, LOL. Alec12 says, feed Shiny all the kills
you guys, y'all near the Hermit
Chinchur
Shrine?
says, WTV lemons. Force PLYZ says, there was way too many times that no one was moving. Cold Snap says, M.
Okay.
Oinks says, Daz paid me to snipe Ethereum kills. Jurgen Fearskin says, I'm sleeping with the devs and have unfair advantages. That's why you forget to dodge out of my grey tax execute and complain nerf afterwards. iShiny says, LOLOLOL. Demon Cow says, minimum taxes for the people. Jack Sherborg says, LOL. iShiny says, if you want hella kills, go Rapier and Spec Flesh CD reset on kill.
Oh boy.
Empire says, microwave army is kinda awful GG, laughing face. Nondary7 says, any good ways to level weaponsmithing? Valdorius says, my achievements are borked. Wakanda says, get carry and talk shit fire. Empire says, I was Noober 38. Empire says, pussy. Empire says, where is your town though xdddddddddddddddddddddddd. Ansu says, okie dokie. Empire says, sounds like we own it xdddddddddddddddddddddd. SLXXPY says, I have 40 hours in this beta and it hurts to play more. Jack Sherborg says, good night hater world. Cordelia says, it's waiting for us on launch. Lubin III says, wow. Ansu says, oh Bredo ES has long loading screens. Lubin III says, badass armor. Cordelia says, true Florida residents know who worked for them. Apple Quacks says, how do people level so fast? iShiny says, by exploiting. Dreet says, like we're gonna be on a sweaty piss map server like this. Wakanda says, taxes were good. Frostbite says, we are benevolent rulers, taxes are the lowest in light and we got all the gathering buffs active, have fun. Oink says, Ishini is a programmer / dev for Amazon and programmed his levels in. Oink says, it was confirmed on this random.ee site I read. Cordelia says, almost as if they were already. CH0P says, set level, 60. Oink says, either that or he grinded like a madman for like 40 hours
What
straight.
up, Tech? What's going on, man?
Jacob Kepley says, imagine.
Man, just trying out some new world.
iShiny says,
pretty damn good,
I
man.
would
It's
rather
pretty damn- it's a
set
nice
logging,
change pace from,
200,
from Apex.
TBH. Oink says, preach. CH0P says, chop not stop. Wakanda says, LOL. Arkan Mathis says, I will settle for logging 100 JK.
Where you been, man?
Wakanda says,
Still playing
love
a lot
them
of
role players.
Apex. I loved the arenas of the season, man. I can't wait to see what they're going to do with
Empire
season
says,
10.
sounds like role players own FL.
Some of the new maps I saw.
Frostbite
in the preview
says,
look
logging
pretty
is the
amazing.
worst skill to level. Apple says, tut. Tirbresh says, NP. Wakanda says, I really love me. Wakanda says, no JK. Savian Trailyard says, can I join a faction from First Light, or are the representatives all in another city? Wakanda says, M***. Oink says, okay, so now that we have had 2 wins. Oink says, who ready to have their shit pushed in tomorrow in Everfall? iShiny says, meme. Oink says, oh slash. iShiny says, oh slash. Butter my biscuit says, LF healer the depths. Kittridge says, 31 healer LFG Amreen. Butter my biscuit says, LF healer the depths. Eloyd Fisher JR says, 07. Valene says, don't threaten me with a good time oinks. Does EFPS says, LMAO. Butter my biscuit says, need a healer for depths, have orb, group ready to go. Emphatic Reaper says, imagine getting butthurt over a game. Morthar says, I'm flagged. Alec 12 says,
I'm almost there. I'm about
/give
300
gold,
out.
shiny, 100,000. Alec 12 says, oops wrong chat. Lahife says, Lahife has reached level 21.
Nice.
POTUS says, tut. Jurgen Fierskin says, imagine feeling superior because you're more mature than someone who gets butthurt over a game. iShiny says, I'm pretty sure we agreed upon 1 mil. iShiny says, but put it in the right VC please. GAC says, haul up.
Did y'all put the camp up here by the landmark? Okay.
Switeco69XX says, need a group for Amreen.
No, put the camp down.
Kittredge says, 31 healer LFG Amreen. La Hype needs to be revived. Want some candy says, you guys know if there's a way to fast travel to someone spawned in a different zone than you.
Man, just trying to put a bed down. This wolf got to get in the way. That's right. Yeah, wolf was tagging me while I was trying to put this bed down.
Boingy Boingy says, only able to fast travel to and from fast travel shrines and towns. Arkan Mathis says, that you have visited. Razire says, I'm ready to buy my mount already. Want some candy says, when you start the game, is the zone you spawn in random? Boingy Boingy says, I think so. Pred Rose Crowley says, yes.
Yeah, or could you put, you wouldn't want to waste your gem. Or you could use that seal. Could you use a seal on it to make it all in gotcha.
Jurgen Fearskin says, as a level 36, what's the fastest way for me to level? I have about 20k gold. DazFPS says, do we have enough for outpost rush? XMETALHEADX says, Burlo. XMETALHEADX says, hello asterisk.
Okay. Fire
Pointy
staff of
Pointy
the
says,
duelist.
hello.
Nice. Probably. No, it's a little bit less. Mind on equip. It's 9 dex, 4 focus. But it's 309. All right. So yeah, that's 309.
Akinu says, not sure anymore, was town board. Officer Fatnitz says,
Just do a trade with you, right? Is it right? H for trade? It says I'm looking at it. H. There we go. Got it. Well, I got that blue one I got the other day. Yeah, got it.
Jurgen Fearskin says, hello Officer Fatnitz. Jurgen Fearskin says, is there a reason you pulled me over? DR Legendus says, healer LFG start stone. Rosie says, are you guys doing PvP quest? Rosie says, yes please.
Six. Nice.
Rosie says, me too. Beta Fool says, looks like Lura users have checked out of beta. Rosie says, I wish I got 94. DR Legendus says, healer LFG start stone. Rosie says, when is it over? Punchline says, tank LFG for Emreen, have orb. Beta Fool says, August 2nd. Major Melone says, why you not hiding the big BOI? Rosie says, coming. Rosie says, didn't see there was part 2.
Let me check. I think so. Yeah, one more. Yeah, it's running.
Rosie says, did you guys get the trees here? DR Legendus says, healer LFG start stone. Rosie says, no I got it.
This is crazy how much gear they drop.
Rosie says, what up with these red area?
Okay.
Brody Lee says, the Dark Order is a PvX but PvP focused company preparing for launch. Healers needed, all are welcome. Drink the Kool-Aid and join the Dark Order Discord required.
I've got some
18 up
medium
DM me,
boots.
Syndicate.
309 that are 7
DR
intel, 4
Legendus says,
focus.
healer LFG
Want
start
those?
stone.
Medium. Oh, gotcha.
Ferozi says, I need a revive. KYPHR says, join where we go one we go all. Looking for other closed-minded individuals. Join now. Escape says, LVL 33 DPS looking for any dungeon. Ferozi says, tough. Bookrin says, basic question but where do I find fibers? All I find is life bloom which is too high for my gathering skills. Ditter says, we need tank for Emrine, we have orb. Beta Fools says, hemp. Bobby the Badass says, what do I use my coarse leather for? Eloyd Fisher Jr. says, all these invasions are late at night. Where are the morning/afternoon ones? Ditter says, needed tank for Emrine. Henry L.E. Massif says, DPS LFG Emrine. Anna Elina says, you have to be LNL 50 for an invasion anyway. Major Melone says, give me some EXPPLX. DR Legendus says, healer LFG start stone. Ditter says, tank for Emrine needed. Beta Pool says, quick survey what GPU are most of you using? Merc Mister says, Have orb. Razira says, 3090. Latrikoflorian says, 3060. Rhino says, 3090. Razira says, Evka 3090 grenade action. Silk says, 2070 super. Weaver Sven says, 1080. Jacob Kepley says, 2060. Gok2 says, the C. Coach Steve says, at DR Legend is what LVL do you need to be. Beta Fools says, what kind FOFPS on the 3060? Symphonies says, 3080 Ti like a champ. Scape says, LVL 33 DPS looking for any dungeon. Mark Ennis says, 5700 XT. Tajk says, RX 6900 XT Merc 319 Black Edition by XFX. Silk says, I get 120 outside of town on very high with my 2070 super about 80 to 90 in town. Razira says, 120 FPS at 5440 x 1440p. Boingy Boingy says, 45 FPS solid on low with the 1050 Ti-B. Latrikoflorian says, LFG Amreen. Punchline says, will tank Amreen, have orb also. Jurgen Fierskin says, Marauder in Broken Dunes Cutlass Ford. Jurgen Fierskin says, prepare yourself. Jurgen Fierskin says, you've been warned. Beta Fools says, so it looks like 2000 series is doing good then. Latrikoflorian says, TBH a 1080 is still great. Bobobert says, 120 caped, RTX 2090. Razira says, where you find a 2090? Boingy Boingy says, damn a 2090. DR Legendus says, healer LFG start stone. Beta Fool says, well I'm playing on a 1060 right now and am doing just fine but an upgrade is coming once the GPU scalping slows down. Bobobert says, was smart and bought it before the chip shortage. Mark Ennis says, 2090 is specially made by Bezos. Punchline says, Rainbeef. Minchui says, how do I get to another rank once I hit 3000? The Sea Thunder says, I have a 2060 and it seems to be working great.
I've got
says,
growing season,
GF.
and then
Minchui says,
just a Forsaken
didn't
Fire
mean
stuff.
caps.
One blue I have is the growing
Smexina74
season.
says, only Jeff knows. Martian says, you should have a quest to do. Punchline says, looking for Emringe group. XMETALHEADX says, test chat.
Okay.
Adeza says, what's the recommended level to do Amreen? Dutch678 says, hey can someone please help me with the Mind Goblin? Beta Fool says, my 1060 runs at 98% constantly LOL. The Sea Thunder says, Mind Goblin these nuts. Metro says, do we have any historians that can share the history of healing magic words in Azeroth? Dutch678 says, LOL. BitMacFly says, the old man at the river, how many quests do I need to complete before I can talk to the guy? I've been doing quests for 6 hours. Forsythia says, until you're level 12. Bobobert says, LOL did I misguide? I meant 3090. BitMacFly says, I'm level 14 though. Boingy Boingy says, I have a Ryzen 950-950X and a 3080 Ti and I'm running the game just fine. I don't see the problem with your guys' game, seems like an easy game to run. BitMacFly says, hasn't let me move forward. Forsythia says, go talk to him. Punchline says, LFG, Amreen, Tank, have orb. BitMacFly says, won't give me location. Quest never progressed. Beta Fool says, I'm just curious what kind or performance people are getting with a 2000 series card in 1440p. Boingy Boingy says, about the same as someone with a 10 series. Synergy says, pussy. Ribbon says, I'm on 1440p 1080 Ti getting 100 FPS on high. Alinius Imp says, yep, same shit ol Purple Boy been doing. Beta Fool says, and I beg to differ, I have to be on mid or low settings with a 1060 to even see 50 FPS. Alinius Imp says, get over it. BitMacFly says, my 5700, 2070-ish, runs 70 to 100 FPS at high settings. 1440. Keep Monarchs Bluffs is under attack. Core says, 2060 i7 getting 62 FPS in F. Donut Diet says, my 3070 is doing great. Hack Attack says, I have a 3080 Ti and I can get 150s on high 3440x1440. Alinius Imp says, Knight starts a fight in the wild and runs to town. Hack Attack says, in city 60 to 80. Beta Fool says, the BIF I am also considering a 6000 AMD card. Hack Attack says, I have a 6800 XT. Beta Fool says, at BitMacFly time. BitMacFly says, no problem. Hack Attack says, it's good no problem. Hack Attack says, the 6800 XT Merc. Hack Attack says, trying to sell it, LOL.
How are you doing your heavy? Are you doing like a
Beta Fool
press
says,
and hold?
likely go
Right.
with AMD since I'm jumping to the 5000 series
It's
CPU
weird.
also.
Does it hang
Nathan
up on you
says,
over?
anyone want great axe of the barbarian warhammer of the soldier fire staff of the scholar forsaken bow of the ranger forsaken warhammer of the soldier forsaken life staff of the
There we
sage?
go. Flaming branch. That's what I'm looking
Florian
for, right?
says, how can I get more Emrine orbs? Donut Diet says, is it free? Mohammed Ali says, me. BitMacFly says, hack,
Oh,
I will
damn
blow
it.
you right now for that 6800 XT.
Wow.
Hack Attack says, I have a
Yeah, no,
5900X no
But
biggie.
it's got a gem
Hack
in it for
Attack
intellect.
says,
It gives it
I'm
30%
married.
more damage with intellect.
Punchline says, any
Or is it
Emrine
normal?
groups? Have orb will tank or
Oh, ignited
DPS.
too? Okay.
BitMacFly says, he'll blow him too. Mark Ennis says, I have a 5700 XT, sad face. Hack Attack says, so I only accept money. Brody Lee says, the Dark Order is a PvX but PvP focused company preparing for launch. Healers needed all are welcome. Drink the Kool-Aid and join the Dark Order Discord required. 18 up DM me, Syndicate. Weaver Spence says, you can craft them at the stone cutting table. Metro says, GF. Weaver Spence says, but you'll need to farm corruption for some of the ingredients. Ikran says,
Just put it
if
in
you're
to
married
make
you're
my heavy
probably
attacks
in
and
need
no
of a
mana.
blow.
So I was trying to make sure I
Chadwick
was doing it
says,
right.
can you go do the Emrine expedition below 25 if someone has a key, or is 25 a hard limit? Draven WOW says, do you even see or LVL? Draven WOW says, dumb fat fuck. Officer Fatnitz says, probably in need of blow. Punchline says, need healer for Emrine, and 2 DPS. Flittercofflorian says,
Building.
yeah, getting married
Nice.
they kind of stop. Weaver Spence says, you can go in early at Chadwick. Beta Fool says, anyone here running an H115i Pro with upgraded fans? BitMacFly says, he'll blow your husband too, ha. No worries. I got you. Chadwick says, thanks Weaver. Sedated says, LMAO trying to fight Ezra the Forge Master, but damn, her spawn time is long. Or is there something I gotta do to make her spawn? Trias says, what is fishing good for? Bling says, catching fish. Opstes says, why does everyone not have PvP on? Enhami says, is it just me or FS is really bad for solo PvE? Fullrot says, CYA folks, sucks it got bugged. I'm sure if you can easily replace me if you wanna rerun. Hack Attack says, thanks Biff, but I don't allow other people to touch my wife. Spicy Italian Meat says, PvP is cringe. Hack Attack says, or call her a MN. Hack Attack says, man. Keep Monarch's Bluffs has been claimed by Syndicate. Trias says, 3. Beta Fools says, not a lot of players PvP under level 30 I've noticed. Lithrakoflorian says, oh. Aoki says, at Enhami it's not bad as a secondary or for dot. Scape says, LVL 33 DPS looking for any dungeon. Ikran says, Biff is talented, can go hands-free. You should see it. No! Ikran says, no need to touch. Biff McFly says, LMAO. Atoy says, fire on road. Hack Attack says, Biff it's 1100. Hack Attack says, which is a deal for a 6800 XT. Jurgen Fierskin says, who feels like there shouldn't be an option to PvP flag, that everyone should be attackable all the time. Biff McFly says, not a bad price. Lithrakoflorian says, oh that hatchet. Metro says, yup. Punchline says, need healer and 1 DPS Amreen. Hack Attack says, are you in New Jersey Biff? Full Grown Malone says, Undertow this item is so good for its level. Biff McFly says, TS. Miss October says, Miss October has reached level 22. Miss October says, Miss October has reached level 22. Mark Ennis says, where you get that Malone? Hack Attack says, sorry man, local pickup only. Lithrakoflorian says, need healer and DPS Amreen. Rurik says, anyone in Brightwood able to help me kill this bear? Biff McFly says, should sell quickly though. Full Grown Malone says, Weaver's fan, Carberg. Triangle Man says, Nondary 7 is no king. Connor says, anyone doing Starstone? Metro says, GF. Full Grown Malone says, off the Brutal Quest boss. Hack Attack says, I've been trying to sell it since the 3080 Ti came out. Keep Monarch's Bluffs is under attack.
Who's this?
Beta Fool says, GPU market is FKDRN. Hack Attack says, scores really well in Creed Mark. Lithrakoflorian says, it's more than FKD right now. Rosie says, I just got 3090 and my old 1080 Ti now is being wasted on 2nd Gen i7. Adeza says, DPS LFG Amreen. Razire says, sold my 3080 for 1650 last week. Hack Attack says, 2600k. Mark Ennis says, wait, what, I didn't realize it was fucked. No wonder my 5700 XT goes for 1200. Rosie says, not sure which second gen. Mark Ennis says, that's crazy huh? Rosie says, it works though. Beta Fool says, when GTX cards are still going for 700 you know it's fucked lol. Rosie says, it's still a 4GHz processor despite being 2nd gen / 10 years old.
Jesus Christ. Wow. Man.
Lazarnadon says, GHZ ain't all, it's instructions per clock that mark the improvements over the years. Hack Attack says, for that time 4GHZ was crazy Lazarna. Purple Jellyfish says, I can't jump or dodge suddenly what gives. Reloget didn't help. Prankulus says, encumbered.
Mess with it, okay.
Purple Jellyfish says,
I got you.
No. XMETALHEADX says, are you over you limit? Keep Monarch's Bluffs is under attack. Purple Jellyfish says, hardly half. Prankulus says, probably exit the client then. Lazarnadon says, again, doesn't matter these days at Hack Attack. XMETALHEADX says, that sounds like you are incombred.
Like.
Lazarnadon says, IPC is the big gains in performance for CPUs. Purple Jellyfish says, right. 139/250 isn't encumbered my man.
Press to unlock.
Keep Monarch's Bluffs is under attack. Lazarnadon says, and that far back is a big jump. XMETALHEADX says, odd.
This keeps putting a marker on the ground.
Prankulus says, just exit the client. Beta Fool says, have they already server merged? Purple Jellyfish says, yeah will do.
Right. Gotcha. Okay.
Prankulus says, relogating in this game doesn't always fix problems, smiley face. Silk says, what should I do for fast armor working XP? Silk says, I've been doing iron boots but pretty slow. Beta Fool says, and wait for release. Keep Monarch's Bluffs has been claimed by Covenant. Silk says, I know it's going down in 2 days, I'm just trying to get this T3 bag and come up with a plan for the 31st LOL. Araborna says, I had no hype for this game and now I can't wait for full release. Beta Fool says, who needs Agent Whip? Jurgen Fierskin says, what area should I quest in at level 36? Keep Monarch's Bluffs is under attack. Jurgen Fierskin says, I haven't done the higher level areas yet. Keep Monarch's Bluffs is under attack. Rurik says, Brightwood. Jurgen Fierskin says, isn't Brightwood like 25? Or am I mistaken? Rurik says, 25 to 40. Beta Fool says, depends on content you are doing. XMETALHEADX says, test. Arkin Mathis says, so what time S4 PST does the beta end at? Jurgen Fierskin says, my build is really strong, I can quest 10 levels above me. Lars the Viking one says, test. Purple Jellyfish says, yeah, my character is hopping like I'm encumbered, but I just emptied my inventory and hard restart didn't work, lol. Neopy says, Syndicate Wild One's company recruiting we immortals live dangerously, wild, gaming community 18 plus PBX social and casual, PA plus friendly, please check us out on Discord, discord.gg/we immortals. Armchair Spartan says, my build is great for RP. Beta Fool says, like 2 AM Eastern I think. Jurgen Fierskin says, 2 AM August 2nd. Beta Fool says, yes. Jurgen Fierskin says, Ruby. Beta Fool says, Google has the for sure answer also. The hype needs to be revived.
What happened? He got me. Yeah, he got me too. Thank you.
Arkin Mathis says, so little more than 24 hours remain. Miss October needs to be revived.
Alright.
Stu says, thanks for fights tonight everyone, see ya. Rurik says, I wish beta lasted near to launch. Keep Monarch's Bluffs is under attack. Beta Fool says, nah, bet needs to end so they can mass improve. Keep Monarch's Bluffs is under attack. Keep Monarch's Bluffs is under attack. Rurik says, true but hells, I'm enjoying myself a lot.
Jesus,
Keep Monarch's Bluffs is under attack.
slaughtered. I'm out. I'm out.
Arkin Mathis
Time to
says,
come back.
I think my biggest complaint about this game is that the changes that occurred since the last time I played haven't changed how I will play the game. I wish they never delayed it. Keep Monarch's Bluffs is under attack. Rurik says, it's 10x better than its previous beta. Beta Fool says, in a month you will have all the time you can stand to play. Tajk says, oh snap, it's finally letting me play on high settings but not on very high. Keep Monarch's Bluffs is under attack.
Jesus. Jesus. He bounced on, jumped on me like 3 times. I was toast.
Rurik says, where's a solid place to farm iron? Boingy Boingy says, areas on the map that are like kinda brown. I don't know, look at the resource locations on the map.
Major and minor
Jurgen
breach
Fierskin
cache.
says,
Open
do
those?
PvP
Okay.
quests in Everfall, there's tons of iron along that route.
Another fire staff.
Jurgen Fierskin says, make sure to flag thought so that you can do the PvP quests.
Whoa.
Keep Monarch's Bluffs is under attack.
Silver. Alright, cool.
Boingy Boingy says, yes, do that.
Got a plus 12 chest piece. Nice.
Beta Fool says, aged wood who wants it, backslash.
It's heavy, but it's, this is 12 intel. The other one's, one I'm wearing is only 5 intel and 7 focus. Would this be worth it? What do you have now? Because these are 309 with plus 7 intel, 4 focus, and it gives you a big boost or a decent boost of healing. 18% for 5 seconds every time an orb of protection heals an ally with no active buffs. Yeah, I mean, I'm wearing plus 12 heavy legs, and that's all they do. They're 317 and these are 309, so they're about the same. But do you want... Okay. Ah, nice. Okay. Okay. Can I recall if I'm overweight? Will it still let you do that or no?
Keep Monarch's Bluffs is under
not,
attack.
Right? Okay. Yeah.
Keep Monarch's Bluffs is under attack.
You don't need a +9 intel fire staff, do you? 307. Okay, yeah. It just dropped in that last fight. Okay. BOE. The other one's BOP. Damn, this is.
Keep Monarch's Bluffs is under attack.
So I've got 330, that flaming branch, but then I got another one. It's 319. That's bound to player, but it's +14 intel.
Oya Drago says, does no one use
I should use it
VOIP?
instead. I don't know. That other one does have that ignited buff.
Shanks.3 says, nah, I met many
Yo,
people
what's
that use
going
it.
on, Nick? What's going on, man? Just playing some New World.
Yatinar says, plenty of people use VOIP outside the northern WW gate. Winky face.
Spear. It's a shield.
Beta Fool says, I use it.
Strength and focus, dex and focus. Get rid of that one.
Charlemagne says, same. Oya Drago says, I guess it's just
potatoes
people that
have
fish then.
thoughts.
They don't seem to like to talk then.
Tater tots? You know potatoes have thoughts. Tater tots.
Arab Orna says, what button is VOIP?
Let me
Shanks.3
check
says,
here.
yeah, most of the people I talk we meet while fishing. Shanks.3 says, it's
so
V.
Those...
Charlemagne says, most the people that don't talk most likely are in Discord chat. Shanks.3 says, but I changed it to mouse button.
Oh no.
Alinius God
Nice.
King says, Alinius God King rolls a 5. Alinius God King says, Alinius God King rolls a 3. Purple Jellyfish says, I can't jump or roll. Knight says, don't eat in duels bro. Knight says, LOL. Knight says, you're eating in a fight you were about to lose though.
It's
Knight
telling
says,
me
sure.
that
Synergy
anything I get
says,
for faction
come,
is
come.
getting lost.
Synergy says,
I guess I
1v1.
have to do some kind of level
Synergy says, look
thing.
at you. Synergy says, bleep. Synergy says,
up. Okay.
VZY trying so hard he gotta eat and pop potions. Synergy says, you're so bleep.
Faction mission.
Synergy says, come here. Synergy says, that kid is trash. Synergy says, Knight wanna run some PvP missions with us, we will probably run into them again. Shanks.3 says, anyone doing Armine? Synergy says, Synergy sits. Want some candy says, want
Oh,
some
it's in-
candy has reached level 8.
Mine's in
Tina
in
the C
Side
says,
Source. This is
Tina
Covenant
the C
Advancement
has reached
Templar.
level 10.
Travel to
Martian
travel to
says,
travel to
Healer
Brightwood
LFG
and complete the
Amreen.
Trial of the Templar. Okay.
Disrupted Halo says, Disrupted Halo has reached level 24. D's Nuts Yum Yum says, GF. Yoba says, hi. Martian says, Healer LFG Amreen.
That's funny. Are you going to? We going to the purple, the waypoint, the purple marker? Okay.
The Real McCoy says, we are in West Great Cleave about to fight Oscara.
I am in. I just went to westward, so I could be pretty close to you.
The Real McCoy says, level 60 area room for 2. The Real McCoy says, 3. Kianai says,
Right now I'm
dual
built
not working
DPS.
LMFAO.
I'm all intel instead of
Kianai
focus.
says, purples be doing anything.
Oh, wonderful.
Impulsive
What a
says,
difference
impulsive
is-
dances. GAC says, okay GG.
You're very insightful, you know that? I'll have to look into this. The differences.
Lahife says, nice, we're rolling that way. Miss October says, hi. Metro says, GF. Miss October says, have you done the dungeon
It's getting
before?
tore up.
Hash Goblin says, 2 DPS LFG Starstone. Brody Lee says, the Dark Order is a PvX but PvP focused company preparing for launch. Healers needed all are welcome. Drink the Kool-Aid and join the Dark Order
Nice.
Discord required.
Nice.
18 up DM me, Syndicate. Wind Myra says, I don't know if I've ever played a beta this much LOL. Lucifer says, are y'all doing ours again? Martian says, over 15 times. Miss October says, we are on RC Sended Tunes. Miss October says, KK. Silk says, same. Martian says, who's the tank? Miss October says, me. Miss October says, I'm in full upgraded steel. Shanks.3 says, same in 3 days I put 36 hours. Major Melones says, GG. Swaberge says, I just hope the release is as smooth as beta has been. Renera says, can you give me some gold?
I'm here with
Silk says,
with Martian.
I'm so broke I have 80. Silk says, and I'm LVL 31 LOL. Wind Myra says, it's definitely fun. The combat is exciting. Galgathor says, where do I sell my junk items? Shanks.3 says, I mean the release will definitely be way better than the beta so it just gets better from here. Miss October says, one more for Amreen DPS.
There's another dude standing here who's 45. Standing outside the front door.
Jinjur says,
Walker.
I can come. Prankulus says, TP or salvage to use for repairing.
Let's get range. Nah, I don't think so.
Thicken says, Mon check disc. Lahife says, can you start it Martian? Martian says, no more orb. Lahife says, okay. Major Melones says, what was the telly you used?
Leave him alone.
Bardolph says, why would release be way better than beta? When has that ever happened? Shanks.3 says, I mean they fix broken things from the beta.
Funny.
Arkin Mathis says, no they won't. Bardolph says, don't get me wrong, I like the game, but I've never seen an MMO make a major change between beta and release. Bardolph says, people have been saying stuff like that since Meridian 59 lol. XMETALHEADX says, what are they going to change? Fukin says, expect minor changes. Fukin says,
Yeah.
this is a
kinda breaks some of
glorified
it down
soft
here.
launch / stress test.
Should grab.
Bardolph says, exactly.
Okay.
Lungs
Oh,
like
right,
Kirby
right,
says,
okay.
LOL
Yeah,
one
I
shot
see,
heavy.
okay. Mm-hmm.
Lungs like Kirby says, full STR. Bardolph says, too many letters in exactly.
Just getting 10%. Okay.
Fukin says, too few IMO. Martian says,
Gotcha. Okay.
THXBTW. Bardolph says, I will fix before release. Fukin says, exacted likely. Bardolph says, winky face. Fukin says, that's
Okay.
the spirit.
You're in. Nice. What? Hold on.
Arpman
Hold on. What?
762 says, where TF is Bosun Ambrose.
So this is like an exploding crate experience.
Bardolph says, well,
On Conan.
some
where, like,
spirits
we blew
were
We blew
involved.
the cave up and lost everything.
Hexite says, under the dock. Hams says, he's in the cave under the dock. Hexite says, in a cave area.
You know I'm running a store. You know I'm running a store. I got the quartermaster supply wagon back here. Okay. Okay.
Arpman 762 says, tie all, smiley face. Mind Avon says, LFMM read. Renner says, wanna come with us? Hash Goblin says, I got 2. Mind Avon says, already have 3. Renner says, oh fuck. Blink says, looking for Emreen. Renner says, WHE are 4 people. Hash Goblin says, me +1. Gling says, I also have 2. Dark Angel 69 says, he'll join Amreen, I'm a tank.
Elite supply chest, nice.
Gling says, we'll take you at Dark Angel 69 if you want, but it'll be our first time. Dark Angel 69 says, I don't mind. Hash Goblin says, INV Sray. Renner says, okay. Gling says, let us know when you're ready at Dark Angel 69. Mind Avon says, I invited you back, Hash. Dark Angel 69 says, go for it at Gling. Oink says, you even level 70 bro. Mind Avon says, LF1M Amreen. Full Grown Malone says, anyone running depths? Gling says, I'm going to Wind's Ward at Dark Angel 69. Arpaman762 says, when you're playing New World and your GPU fans start spinning really fast. Beta Fool says, get used to that. Jurgen Pureskin says, mine are quiet as a baby sleeping. Jurgen Pureskin says, spent about 2K on a new pre-build. Philly VOI says, this game runs pretty well on my laptop TBH. Mind Avon says, LF2M Amreen. Beta Fools says, he'll do Amreen.
Okay.
Keith Stone says, this on B? Player 4 says, any 60 trying to come to Mangled Gate. Mind Avon says, LF1M Amreen. Salol says, GF. Zimba says, GF. Armchair Spartan says, sad face. XMETALHEADX says, how long was beta open for? Ragin Vanguard says, July 21st I believe. Bobby the Badass says, where do I start the quest for my LV2 camp now that I'm LV15?
It's gone.
Hoiny says, you don't. Kitty Meow says, you just build so many LVL1 camps. Gullible.club says,
Right, yeah, it
at
does.
Bobby the Badass it's in Everfall, called Friends of Fashion. Gullible.club says, something like that.
Elites. Right.
Mavrandria says, where the heck are these remains from Scratchy's latest victim?
Pile's done.
Napoleon says, at Mavrandria they start down by the lake, it's like small cloth strips. Napoleon says, you gotta follow the trail up from the lake shore. Mavrandria says, okay.
Pile's down. Martian's hurt. Trying to get some heals on. Martian's almost down. I'm giving up.
Martian needs to be revived.
I'm getting Martian up. All right, Martian's up. Martian's up. Healing. Nice. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Just one of us or two of us or what? Okay. There's a boss here. We pull him back to you guys or just fight it? Come on, Ginger. Up the ramp, right? Yep, I did. Ginger's down there though. I think he's bringing him around or not. There's Ginger. I don't know if the dude came up or not. There he is.
Jurgen Pierskin says, at level 40 after Brightwood, where do I go? I want to quest in a more challenging, higher level area. Validus Miles says, cheer. Billy says, Weaver's Bend. Jurgen Pierskin says, tie it. Hype needs to be revived.
Gotcha. Oh, that's not good. Big boss is over the other side.
Sablo says, keep WW seems calm now. Anything else going down?
Which one? Fire stuff? No, I just got 7. For the heavy, yeah. So I'm going back and forth between heavy and fire heals. No, just the one about the heavy costs no mana. No, not yet.
Silk says, anyone buying seasoning blend?
Yeah, on the back left over there.
You too.
Tiresome says, where can I find elk?
Okay. Alright. I'm in.
Dark Him says, at Clyde Dungerberg says, what's the best way to LBL so far? Clyde Dungerberg says, storyline. Cogs11 says, community board and quest. Wind Myron says, some exploit. Cogs11 says, exploit was sort of fixed. Windmyra says, well, good for them. Hamish Bacon says, elk are listed as being sighted a lot in Monarch Bluffs. Jorgensen says, do people still think it's the town board? Curious what people are doing to level now. Wind Myra says, questing is fastest. Clyde Dungerberg says, you just stick to the storyline quests. Or quest on the boards.
Makes those dance around even more. Yeah.
Wind Myra says, I think you can do main, side, then periods in between where you do the boards. Forsythia says, both, board quests can be close to where storyline is. Jurgen Pureskin says, what zone is after Weaver's Fen? Looking for a level 45-ish zone. Boingy Boingy says, you gotta grind levels to even do the main story. Wind Myra says, and do faction quests. Wind Myra says, just go to all the yellow markers. Wind Myra says, LOL. The Mix says, reek water. Jurgen Pureskin says, Ty Mick. The Mix says, Restless Shore probably better.
So were those up the stairs?
Jurgen Pureskin says, ours better as in higher level. The Mix says, as in probably a bit easier. Jurgen Pureskin says, not I want harder. Jurgen Pureskin says, tie though. The Mix says, NP. Sigurd Odinson says, where the PvP at? Wind Myra says, how to check playtime in game. Jorgensen says, /play. The hype needs to be revived. Jorgensen says, minus the E at the end LOL. Leakin Pup says, GF. Oya Drago says, I've been fishing for the past 2 hours, is there really any point? Oink says, Jorgensen. Oink says, why did you have to put that? Oink says, I'm quitting now. Trias says, confused flaw. Oink says, I need daylight. H3ATS says, to get fish. Jurgen Pureskin says, but what at points? Jorgensen says, LMAO mine's bugged so I don't have to know. Sigurd Odinson says, which city has the most PvP I'm trying to fight? Oya Drago says, what do fish do? Oya Drago says, PLS. Yatanar says, wait, why is /played wrong? LOL. Yatanar says 14 days. Bobby the Badass says, fish swim. Yatanar says, is that all the time on my entire account? Preview and all. LOL. Kittredge says, 31, heals low Pemrine /corrupted portals.
Got him.
Oya Drago says, PLS, what do I do with said fishes? Jorgensen says, for me and some other people it bugged I don't know what. Sigurd Odinson says, fish give food, as well as crafting mats. Leakin Pup says, GF. Dinooi says, /played. Oink says, it's that time warp exploit you did at Jorgensen. Tag says, LOL. Oink says, I saw you guys moving backwards. Lanaham says, heh. Oink says, I saw it. Jorgensen says, yeah I got a bonus week playtime that's how I hit 60 so fast. Jorgensen says, easy. Oya Drago says, alright most thank at Sigurd Odinson. Discreet says, what is bonus week playtime? The Mix says, GF. Discreet says, I'm trying to L. Discreet says, XMETALHEADX says, that's good they make it where you can't steal LOL. Jorgensen says, it's not real my /playtime bug to say 8 days on like day 2 LOL at Discreet. Jorgensen says, for /played. Kittredge says, 31 heal /DPS LFG Emrine /corrupted portal /elite areas.
Victory.
DR Legendus says, healer LFG Starstone. Jinjur says, Jinjur gives the thumbs up. Dinooi says, well /played isn't working for me, so I just opened Steam and looked there. Lahype says, run again? Lahype says, we have key.
Okay.
A Pickle says, personal opinion but I want feedback if everyone thinks the same because I want to throw this in their feedback system.
Yeah, I'm trying to get there.
I believe they should add a hold sprint
Okay, yeah, I
feature.
got too much stuff on me.
Please note I said hold. Martian says, bedtime for me. Ginjur says, same. Full Grown Malone says, they have it?
Full grown Malone.
Prankulus says, some bugs from alpha are still in and they've been offline half a year or so use equals.
Damn.
A Pickle says, there's no click and hold sprint feature. Oyudrago says, anyone interested in buy a motherload of fish?
What about
A Pickle says,
318?
just click sprint.
317? 314?
Oyudrago says,
314?
buying asterisk. Martian
Got
says,
4 of them.
thanks for the INV. Martian says,
Do the
Martian has
318?
reached level
It's
29.
Dex and strength. And
Prankulus
chains
says,
lightning. Okay, and
BTW.
it chains lightning.
Cheese
I'll
Wheel
give you all
says,
of them.
is there a
Yeah, I'll
T4
give you all of
loom
them.
anywhere?
Pick 2.
A Pickle says, which in my opinion not a fan. Prankulus says, Eden Grove looks amazing. Dinooi says, he'll buy for 0.01G.
Player to access social media.
DR
I'm looking at
Legendist
you and
says,
hitting H, and
healer
it's not
LFG
letting me do
Starstone.
anything. It's weird. I have to get like really close to you. There it goes. Okay.
Ginjur says, Ginjur has reached level
So that's the
25.
318.
Arkan Mathis says, if we had a sprint button I worry that one of keys will be pressed down really hard all the time. Oyudrago says, at Dinooi.10 for common fish. Ginjur says, tie for the group.
Okay. Alright. Here you go.
Caradoc Charlotte says, why not do what I did and just map auto run to better key?
I'm way down.
Caradoc Charlotte says, or a mouse
So
button if you
don't
have
need a
them.
sword or anything. Like, drop all this stuff. Spears. Is that? It's strength and dex. Keenly jagged 310.
XMETALHEADX says, I don't see a prob with it.
It's bound to player. Yeah. It's bound to player. There's a BOE. There's a con int. Bound on equip 319 heavy.
Cogs 11 says, is charcoal a
strength and
found
dex.
item or can you craft it as well? Resnick says, life without Azoth is hard on the boots. Arkan Mathis says, craft.
Pretty sure I got
Oin
it.
says,
Yeah.
Burnwood
it's
at
gone.
Smelter Friend. Meeb says, crafted in
shit.
furnace.
It's strength and focus.
Resnick says, it's censored hard. On.
Intelligence and focus.
Cheese Wheel says, any town have a T4 loom?
There's some. Well, you don't wear medium, right? Okay.
Perdita says,
Okay, 'cause
crafted.
it was plus 11 strength. Gotcha. But light's good to keep and heavy. Okay.
DR
Gotcha, okay.
Legendist says, healer LFG Starstone.
Oh, there's some.
Caradoc Charlotte
pants.
says, I love you all, it was a good beta.
Oh no, they're bad. Got old.
Arkan Mathis says, that's pretty impressive censorship. Jorgensen says, click on the towns and you can see what they have. Zenrot says, where the PvP at?
That I should have given you the shield in. It dropped us earlier. It's a strength and con shield, 300. My bad. I had like a 200, so I just dumped it on there to get the 312.
San Pablo says, when's beta end? Cheese Wheel says, it's not accurate.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Dinooi says, either way the Magic 8 Ball says there's no town with a loom. Cheese Wheel says, that's why I ask. Dinooi says, at tier 4.
That blue staff that I got, should I put the seal on it to make it be int, since it's
Jorgensen
it's like
says,
plus 14
it's
con.
sometimes wrong but only in one way I believe.
Yeah, it was fun, man. It was a lot of fun. I definitely got to read.
DR Legendist says,
I was out of
Healer
mana for a
LFG
lot of it.
Starstone.
Luckily, my stuff doesn't cost mana to cast, like my lights, my heavies, or all my heals. Lights and heavies don't cost anything.
Jorgensen says,
fight, but I didn't have time to
sometimes
go
there's a
find
delay
it.
in updating, but if
Do
it
that now
says
real quick.
T5 at one town P, sure you're good to go.
Gain 10% max per.
Jurgen Fearskin says,
Not pillar.
whoa 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 whoa.
Or, spell focus 5%.
Cheese Wheel says,
Heavy attacks.
I was
restore
told
5.
about a T4 furnace that showed T3 a few days ago. Jurgen Fearskin says, Everfall TP looks different, is that because it got upgraded? Beta
Do I need to
Fool
re-
says,
Does this look
Forsaken
right?
Bow
Do I
of
need
the
to redo any of
Batlemage
these?
Forsaken Warhammer of the
Okay.
Fighter, anyone want? Cheese Wheel says, it still shows T3. Prankulus says, Eversong had like 5 items in TP LOL. Jorgensen says, yes, so in reality it's higher because it didn't update.
Mm-hmm.
Dinooi says,
watching
it could possibly have tier downgraded as
a
well.
video that studied study, or however you say his name, for this. And he was talking, yeah, you could. There's so many
DR
burns.
Legendist
If you sit there
says,
and select them right,
Healer
there's so many
LFG
burns that can
Starstone.
stack. One of
Cheese
these
Wheel
gives you
says,
quadruple
unfortunately, I don't
stack
have enough
burns.
Azoth to Tella around. Oyudrago says,
which one it was.
Avaya Serpi
But yeah.
anyone INTR estate? Jorgensen says, indeed but probably not twice. Prankulus says, different items Jurgen. Prankulus says, all
so maybe go to
TPS have their
Windsor.
own stuff placed. Jorgensen says, because
Actually,
map
where
shows
is
T5 at MB so you're almost certainly good Togo.
Okay.
Southwest Voodoo says, what's the command to see your FPS? Soda says, corruption's resurgence.
Ah, I see. Okay. I don't know if I got there. Get here. Brightwood. So you got all the way to Brightwood. All right. Okay. Yeah, I'll recall, and then there. I'm gonna probably
Cheese Wheel
fast travel.
says, that's the outfitting station, not loom, but appreciate it. Prankulus
Alright,
says,
that's the way it
game menu visuals.
sucks.
Butter My Biscuit says, Marauder Destroyer Grey Tax. Prankulus says, turn it on there. Jorgensen says, oh true. Kittredge says, anyone farming Deadman's Cove for weapon levels need a healer? PST. Southwest Voodoo says,
Right.
thank you. Kittredge says, Sready wrong chat. Oyudrago says,
Oh,
y'all flexin' your gear? Say no more. Kittredge says, anyone farming Deadman's Cove for weapon levels and need a healer? PST. Oyudrago says, Reinforced Covenant initiate headwear of the priest, Reinforced Covenant initiate jacket of the priest, Reinforced Covenant initiate hand covers of the priest, Reinforced Covenant initiate leggings of the priest, Reinforced Covenant initiate footwear of the priest.
yeah, I've got to wait. I can't fast travel yet. Yeah, I can't recall the end for like 5 minutes. So I'm just running to wait. Windsward and go from there. What is that? That's Windsor? Or is that the fortress?
DR Legendus says, healer LFG Starstone.
What's that green thing in the center? It's weird. Oh, that's a capture point? Okay. Damn, look at those Gatling guns. That's crazy looking. Screenshot that.
Neptune V
That's
says,
cool.
cool.
Ah, gotcha. Okay. How long is the window open for them to attack it? Anytime? Oh, okay. Attacking it? Okay.
Butter My Biscuit says, LF healer the depths.
Yo, what was the command to make you sheath your weapon? X. Okay. Cool.
DR Legendus says, healer LFG Starstone. Clave says, need healer for the depths. Kittredge says, 31 healer slash DPS LFG Dead Man's Cove slash Stone Skull Fort slash Amrine slash Corrupted Portal Farming PST. Dr. Legendus says, healer LFG Starstone. Oinks says, guys. Oinks says, Blackout is scared to fight a healer. Oinks says, GG. Oinks says, will gank solo dudes with a party of 6 but won't fight a healer unless he banks his axe. Tina says, you're just too scary oinks. Lucifer says, nice. Dr. Legendus says, healer LFG Starstone. Dr. Legendus says, healer LFG Starstone. Grown Man's Gaming says, never done it but I'll join. Resnick says, what type of mobs are in the 35 dungeon? Ancient, Lost, etc.
I need to unload real quick. Almost to Everfall. Really look at everything? Okay. Alright, cool. It's better than shift clicking. It was. Yeah, I thought the first season was really good. We watched all of it. We really liked it. Highest budget for the film, or highest grossing with like viewers. You might, the cost to make it, right? Where is the town board here? There it is. Dang. Yeah, the main actor is Henry Cavill. He plays the Witcher.
The original Gooby
Yeah, he plays
says,
the Witcher
the
character.
original Gooby has reached level 18.
Right. So it's considered one of the best games ever made. Like, whenever you see like the critic reviews and stuff of it, they just rave and rave and rave about it. Like, what's the other one? Like Horizon Zero Dawn. It's, you know, people always talk about it. You know, they kind of compare them, like the same high praise.
Atoy says, thanks.
I'm trying to craft and it keeps acting like I'm not crafting anything. It's weird.
Arya Storm says, Arya Storm has reached level 14. Hexide says, looking for heal / DPS for Starstone.
Okay. I don't know sauce.
Monina says, PPPOOPOO. DR Legendus says, Healer LFG Starstone. Evil Mad Kitty says, we need a 5-player. DR Legendus says, Healer LFG Starstone. DR Legendus says,
Bezos going
Healer
in.
LFG Starstone. Ryan Eska says, Piputo and the super percent dollar hashtag friends. Evil Mad Kitty says, NI. Evil Mad Kitty says, no.
And then all of that.
Forsythia says, Forsythia has reached level 16.
Let's just loom that.
DR Legendus says, Healer LFG Starstone. Taintamoista says, Taintamoista has reached level 19. Altrina says, you both have small discs. CPT Crisp says, CPT Crisp has reached level 34. Cogs 11 says, when you use a craft mod while crafting, does it consume the craft mod? I would assume it would. Lepide says, Lepide has reached level 28. Minicup says, GF can you hear me?
Do I have to find
Altrina says,
the vendors
head wrecked.
before they show up on the map? No, I can't find the damn balloon in this town. Right. I've got it. Oh, that thing. Okay, gotcha. All right, cool. Thanks.
Brody Lee says, the Dark Order is a PvX but PvP focused
So is it
company
better to do
preparing
these
for
one at a
launch.
time than do them all
Healers
at once?
needed, all are welcome.
Okay.
Drink the Kool-Aid and join the Dark Order
Only got
Discord
86
required.
XP for all that linen.
18 up DM me, Syndicate.
150 linen. I was like, thought I'd get a little bit more than that. Okay.
Monina says, up dog.
What's up, dog?
B3TR says, the band of TH3 Hawk is just simply way cooler than the Dark Order. We stand for everything they stand for plus free hookers. Make the right choice.
Plus free hookers.
Syndicate. B3TR says, B3TR has reached level 22. TTV Foul Fox says, TTV Foul Fox has reached level 9. Brody Lee says, Arcolate is actually a different white powder. Blow, it's blow.
You know what? Why not? This thing's ending anytime soon anyway. Okay, how do I buy it? Or is it gone already? Nope.
B3TR says, our hookers come with free heroin.
Alright, I'm gonna try to go light everything. Try that out.
Brody
this time
Lee
instead of
says,
mixing
and
heavy and light.
gonosyphilitis.
So I need heavy chest, gloves, and heavy legs. Alright.
Sablo says, too easy taking WW back for us RN. B3TR says, nah, just HIV.
Just light. GS.
B3TR says, but they are free. Brody Lee says, LMAO. Honstwork says, too easy 2PZ baby. Kigorn says, rapier of the assassin. Neptune V says, SEC. Rec One Eyes says, how does a settlement increase its trade skill tiers? Many Rex says, the governor have to start it. Many Rex says, one upgrade at the time, and it need town board quest points to complete. Rec One Eyes says, Ty. Sablo says, I think the owning company has to pay like 10-20k for upgrades too. Gak 9000 says, anyone know where I can find iron ore near Everfell? Many Rex says, probably, but they get all the tax, fee, payout. Charlemagne says, THX. Oyudrago says, how do you get seasoned blend? Big Clock says, Big Clock has reached level 27. Pooners says, Pooners has their eyes on you. Raiden Moose 4 days says, blend seasonings. Sablo says, don't worry we got it boys. Oyudrago says, yes those. Oyudrago says, how get? Adamus says, tie. Sablo says, y'all seen anyone around? Raiden Moose 4 days says, blend seasonings. Many Rex says, craft at kitchen. GAC says, step 1, blend seasonings. B3TR says, join band of TH3 Hawk for free hookers and cool shit. Syndicate. Oyudrago says, oh. Oyudrago says, I see. Oyudrago says, but step 2?
So if I've got everything light helmet,
Raiden Moose 4 days
chest,
says,
light hands,
drink beer and enjoy your
light
seasonings.
legs, light boots.
Jorgensen says,
Why would it still say
blend
medium?
seasonings.
Is it just the shield?
GAC says, if you go to a kitchen in a settlement it'll say what you need. GAC says,
Yeah, it's the
it'll
it's the
be a
shield.
recipe
Yep.
at the top of
I
your
took
list.
The shield off and it changed it. Okay.
GAC says, it's honestly not worth it.
Yeah.
Matt Sama
Was that
says,
300
Matt Sama has reached level 15. Hila says,
2 strength,
need tank
4
and
con,
DPS for
300
Berg
gear
Blue
score.
Isles. GAC says, the dairy crates are okay if you're in a settlement that has a
8.2
cow,
weight, yeah.
though. MB Oryx says, S my D big BOI. Oyudrago says, alright, most thank friend.
Yeah, I could probably change it though. Let me look. It's probably a good idea. It's intelligence focused. 3 and
GAC
5
says,
and 12
yes, spices
intelligence
are
on the
zone specific so tough to farm.
ring.
Cullen
I just need to
says,
get
Cullen
something
has
better for
reached
the,
level 8.
Nicholas looks like.
GAC says, herbs give different spices in each zone and sometimes it asks for something that doesn't grow in the zone you're in.
Check to see if there's any intelligence necklaces real quick.
Chemwolf says, Chemwolf has reached level 58. Monina says, the spice system is dumb.
There's that one of those Forsaken Life Staffs in here. It's got plus 18% healing bonus.
Monina says,
There's a trait.
I hate it so much. Ryan Eska says, feedback it, Spice drops too rarely in general, the zone specificness of it just adds insult to injury. Drip Orion says, anyone killing stuff in Pervile? GAC says, I actually like it. GAC says, gives you a reason to go to specific areas. Ryan Eska says, if drop rates didn't suck maybe that would work, tongue sticking out. GAC says, some of them do seem off. Lahife says, Lahife has reached level 22. Lahife says, Lahife has reached level 22. Raiden Moose 4 Days says, I like the way it is, actually makes the games last longer and not get boring quick. Instead of having everything within 2 minutes in one zone. Monana says, cooking in video games are supposed to be comfy, not a RNG treasure hunt. Ryan Eska says, I think I've gotten less than 50 herbs total by 100 harvesting. Monana says, spices are so rare that no one even sells them. Ryan Eska says, air spices, from all those herbs I've harvested. Ryan Eska says, yeah, people sell them for like 80 GA piece because they are so rare. Raiden Moose 4 Days says, I get spices almost every plant I pick. Caradoc Charlotte says, they need to just give more info on them. Raiden Moose 4 Days says, you're supposed to get better tools and skills to get the rarer items also. But people don't realize that, they just want everything handed to them instead of earning it.
I can do that.
Caradoc Charlotte says, cause I have found herb drops are regional.
Traveled there first, that sucks.
Caradoc Charlotte says, would be nice to have better way of knowing where each herb has chance of dropping and where it doesn't. Charlemagne says, Charlemagne has reached level 12. Ryan Eska says, I've got steel tools and luck boosting food. Adam Farts 1 says, Adam Farts 1 has reached level 19. Monana says, the luck boosting food didn't seem to help me much. Cedadoon says, THX a bunch haul. Raiden Moose 4 Days says, you need the increase in rare finds on your tools and stuff. Ryan Eska says, so you need to randomly craft like 100 items to get the perfect roll just to do basic cooking LOL. Raiden Moose 4 Days says, also the game is meant for you to explore and figure out where everything is. It's not meant to be easy. Many Rex says, it's a grindy game. Raiden Moose 4 Days says, yes pretty much. Slide Mo Bob says, Slide Mo Bob sits. Gullible.club says, X3 leveled looking to carry X2 beginners through Amreen. Raiden Moose 4 Days says, you realize this isn't Minecraft, right? Monana says, I mean, people are just going to post where everything is online anyway. Myogangewe says, different regions have different spices that can be obtained from herbs to basic bases. Evolaya says, anyone know when the servers shut down for good until launch date? Cedadoon says, at least Yo won't burn through all the content in a week. That's how it should be. Ryan Eska says, and if they drop consistently that'd be fine, but they don't. Ryan Eska says, I can harvest 10 herbs and get like 1 spice. Beta Fools says, read the website FFS, so many time this gets asked and Google has the answer. Raiden Moose 4 Days says, that's the point in it being rare LMFAO. Silent Rap 1 says, I Google everything. Resnick says, ask Alexa asterisk. Aoki says, at Evolaya August 2nd, 11:59 PST. Monana says, I don't mind having to go to a specific area to get spices, I just hate the RN-ness of it. Silent Rap 1 says, I know all the government secrets. Raiden Moose 4 Days says, game's done in like 24 hours from now. Oink says, Wolf RPing in Windsward. Ryan Eska says, it won't be used because 'tis too much effort and grind for a marginal buff. Silent Rap 1 says, like where they keep Jeff Bezos' footprints. Evolaya says, dang bruh, no need to be rude. Go spank one out and you might come BK feeling nicer. Oink says, SRSRPRs only. Ryan Eska says, spending hours UST to get like 3 crafts of a stat food that adds 0.025% DMG, woo. Beta Fools says, bruh lol, bruh yeah bruh. Silent Rat 1 says, bungered. Raiden Moose 4 Days says, it's meant for people that enjoy that stuff, they will make it and sell it for people that don't want to make it. Ryan Eska says, an ITLL sell at high prices people won't buy, just like it is right now. Raiden Moose 4 Days says, it's also a beta and every vidye's just testing stuff lol.
What's that?
Raiden Moose 4 Days says, that's how everything beta and new game is.
Right, get it over.
Miss October says, and game guilds will buy it just like WoW. Monana says, yeah the real game is going to be different when people don't expect everything to get wiped. Miss October says, does not matter the price. Oink says, looking for FREMs to snack on with my new lead build. Ryan Eska says, I'm still feedbacking it, smiley face. Myogangewe says, if you collect herbs from the first light, you'll get cinnamon. Ryan Eska says, just like the Fey Iron and Petrified Wood being non-existent for crafting the level 24 weapons after thousands of iron. Maddox Aiden says, NA. GAC says, attribute food definitely adds more than just 0.025% damage lol. Raiden Moose 4 Days says, because you need the tools with the rarity find on it lol. Ryan Eska says, I actually have that for mining, still nothing. Ryan Eska says, I'm at like 10% with tools and gear. Raiden Moose 4 Days says, Also the higher you skill and the gear you can get makes a difference. Miss October says, if you played WoW before it came out, it took 1000s of copper to LVL up blacksmithing. I made a mill on the buying and selling copper ore back then. Captain Tac Zero says, what's the fastest way to get places? Or if I have to run off 800M, I just run LOL. Ryan Eska says, almost 100 mining, 3 pieces of gear adding % rare item drop chance from Ming, thousands of iron, no fey iron. Raiden Moose 4 days says, so you have a full set of gear for mining rarity and a pickaxe. Ryan Eska says, copium. Zazaren says, LF healer and tank Amarine. Ryan Eska says, it's a level 24 recipe that requires fey iron. Monina says, oh just got a soulworm tongue. Maddox Aiden says, need a healer? Ryan Eska says, like I'm not knee-jerk saying this, I put in the time and testing and many hours on it. It's broken. Raiden Moose 4 days says, sounds like shitty SNG luck on your end, haha, but still put the report in so they'll look into it before live release. Ryan Eska says, I feedbacked it already and the spices too. They are just a bad experience in general right now. Ryan Eska says, herbs were starting out too, but at least once you discovered where herbs were, which was nowhere near either me or my friends' starting areas lol, that wasn't an issue. Raiden Moose 4 days says, only problem I've had with the spices is certain zones don't have many herb plants in general. Ryan Eska says, air not herbs, hemp.
The spark is strong here, one of our the kind unworthy of sharing.
Barfaman762 says, I'm not able to hit any mobs in the last few fights. Server going down, or is it me? Many Rex says, I'm fine. Riggs Bigley says, nah, I'm hitting fine. Ryan Eska says, I've been having some lag, I've been on for a while so I'm about to fully restart client and see if it helps. Raiden Moose 4 Days says, I've had that problem once in a while, I just switch from one weapon back to the other usually fixes it. Ryan Eska says, game gets funny after like 2+ hours I find. Miss October needs to be revived. XMETALHEADX says, maybe you have a poop PC. Lahife needs to be revived. Keep Winsward is under attack. Oinks says, rude. Monina says, stop attacking Winsward you muppets. Silent Rat 1 says, only rude if not true. Oinks says, no.
Oh no.
Oinks says, some killed the wolf in WW
You see
Fort.
my stream?
Oinks says, it
I
was
really hope this
innocent.
isn't my graphic card dying.
Keep Winsward is under attack.
There it goes. There it goes. It finally cleared up. Right? This is like I'm in Candyland. Cooled off. Yeah. Last resort. Yeah, it's last resort.
Keep Winsward is under attack.
Yep.
Keep Winsward is under attack.
Yeah. Look.
Wakanda says,
Okay.
Wakanda sits.
About the fast travel there.
Wakanda says, Wakanda sits.
Fighting here. That's cool.
Keep Winsward is under attack.
Winsward's under attack. Winsward is
Raiden
under
Moose
attack.
4 Days says, I know the rates eggs drop from turkeys needs increase. Also I have yet to personally see a turkey nest. Lahife says, LF healer and DPS for Amreen. Zephyri says, bleep. Keep Winsward is under attack. Keep Winsward is under attack. Keep Winsward is under attack.
I just got all light into int gear, so hopefully this one will go different.
Resnick says, so the PvE faction missions for crafting aren't in this beta, are they? Lahife says, anyone want to heal or DPS Amreen? Keep Winsward is under attack.
All right. I have no idea what's going on. You guys look like shadows from Asheron's Call.
Keep Winsward is under attack.
Vial of suspended Azov.
Keep Windsward is under attack. ICL0UD says,
See the
I
guys
can
who
heal
log out
for
real
you
quick
if you
and
need.
come back. Say what now?
La Hype says, that'd be great
Oh, gotcha, okay.
THX.
Oh, look at this. What? Oh no. This is not good. Alright. Everything. Oh, this looks good. Okay, so this isn't broken. Just the game. Alright, cool. That's how it normally looks, so we're good. Man, I think your idea's spreading. I saw a couple other videos of guys doing a paladin build where it's heavy, like 300 con, and then like mixing and other stuff.
Keep Windsward is under attack.
Oh no. Keep Windsward is under attack. Claim rewards. Claim them all. Yeah. So am I running? Am I running damage? Okay. Enter expedition. Yes. Available rewards. All right, cool.
Jennifer L says, oh LOL.
Wow, that's nice. Or like the hunter from Destiny that trapped in the shot.
Lahife says, okay, what is that badass void magnet? Motok Zero says, GF. DR Legendist says, healer LFG Starstone / M right.
Yo, iCloud, what's that void thing you're running? I think it's badass, man.
Charlemagne says, THX. DR Legendist says, healer LFG Starstone / M right. Motok Zero says, GF. DR Legendist says, healer LFG Starstone / M right. Cheesewheel says, Everball has AT for Loom, let's go. Homo the Command says, we all some cowards. DR Legendist says, healer LFG Starstone / M right. Ryan Eska says, anyone else getting a little rubber banding tonight?
We want waterfall chest, right?
ICL0UD says, chest.
Is the other one? Is that it? Okay. Use the Azov staff to He's like scripts. The other thing you were doing? Okay.
Silk says, yeah I am. Lahife says, what's that void spell you're casting iCloud? ICL0UD says, it's an item effect. ICL0UD says, darkness defined. DR Legendus says, healer LFG Starstone / Amrite. Lahife says, it's pretty sweet. ICL0UD says, yeah it's nice extra DMG. Fennec says, warded. XMETALHEADX says, hey when picking an allegiance does it really matter? Brody Lee says, the Dark Order is a PvX but PvP focused company preparing for launch. Healers needed all are welcome. Drink the Kool-Aid and join the Dark Order Discord required. 18 up DMV, Syndicate. Silk says, right now nah but after beta yet. Silk says, choose wisely. Moyen says, wisely. XMETALHEADX says, is there a defense? Silk says, Wisley. Silk says, I don't know.
Oh,
Silk says, LOL. Silk says, high as shit. Bardolph says, Weasley. Gibeon says, bro I need to find a sphere. Silk says, ha ha ha. Moyen says, the sphere at the bottom of a statue. XMETALHEADX says, so after this beta all char get deleted. XMETALHEADX says, right. Ryan Eska says, except my character, who they will allow out of pity. XMETALAGADX says, who? Ryan Eska says, in addition to the numerous services you rendered. XMETALAGADX says, LOL. Silent Rap 1 says, just mention you have Jeff Bezos feed pics. Silent Rap 1 says, and they don't delete your character. Orp says, Emery LFM, got heals and tag, just need DPS. Ryan Eska says, I can DPS. Silent Rap 1 says, anybody else wanna lick salt off his head like a mountain goat or just me? Maddox Aiden says, GG.
Just follow you guys. He went, yeah, Cloud went up, okay.
Jurgen Fearskin says, what?
Do we go down there and drag him?
Motok Zero says, you too. ICL0UD says, DNT need to pull it. ICL0UD says, there are 2 more up ahead to do the Bones quest. Rosie says, I'm inside. Disc. Dave Grohl says, yo, what server is this? Rosie says, am I tank or DPS? Atoy says, lost faith.
Yeah, it's not proccing as much as I thought it would.
Maddox Aiden says, I'm down.
I don't know if it's good. I must be missing some. I'm not hitting for much either. I'm only hitting 345.
Bobby the Badass says, server is Phineas. ICL0UD says, go on ahead.
No, it's like a 345 and then like 11. Yeah, 275 single on that one. 275 single. And 378 plus 7. That's way low for some reason. So something was really low. Yeah, I'm holding it really hard. I wish I could a bigger button that was just heavy. So I can do this hold crap. Sometimes I think I'm holding it, it's not hold long enough. I just don't like instead. Killed me then. Right, I know. It was like everything was already dead, and all of a sudden I died. If there's like a poison after he died or something, it's weird. They need like an event. They need like a combat log so you can see. Oh, it's locked. So locked chest. Gotcha. That's okay, cool. God, gotcha. Oh no, I did not get to do that. Okay, I'll go back. Oh. You know, some games have like an XP regain, like they give you like a death pit, like Dark Age Camelot. You didn't lose anything, but you had like a
Southwest
like a
Voodoo
Vitae
says,
thing, Asheron's
man,
Call.
I always
You go
miss
back
one
and
chest
raid
on
at
these
it.
missions.
Use the
Laughing
penalty.
face. Southwest Voodoo says, mission goes smoothly, then I spend 30 minutes looking for a single chest.
I mean, I've seen some 495s on my E on my Fireball. Sometimes I've
Silent
seen
Rat
those.
1 says, chest kill PP Pogger. Robco says, best part of the game carrot.
365. Yeah, I'm not getting it. It's like 264 now. That one was 370. That one's up to 363. It's like 90 or something.
Unit Inspector says, okie dokie.
Yeah, I was, but then I changed to heal because I was down to 50% health. So I had to swap over to mana heal myself and then deplete just about all of it. That's what I have. And I'm healing with Q and E. Doing the R's at my feet. And then going back and letting that heal me while I go back to the fire stuff.
Lahype needs to be revived. Lahype says, LOL.
Oh, I bet I insta-died because I died once already. Wasn't it like only one revive or something? So I bet that's what happened. Right, I can see one right. Where is this meta coming from that you gotta stand in the corners? Down.
Southwest Voodoo says, okay, I'm not sure, but I'm fairly certain my fire staff mage is yelling Poopzilla over here. Remy Vandera says, so is there anything special about owning a house in a town, or is it cosmetic? Haven't had a chance to test it yet. Many Rex says, make your bank bigger with chest. Many Rex says, give you a 4H recall. Many Rex says, rest is just RP. Many Rex says, oh, and buffs with trophy. Remy Vandra says, cool. Many Rex says, quite nice, not too much, not useless.
That sounds like he said Pootzilla. That's funny. I'm never gonna be able to unhear that now. Some right. Well, I never even thought that until somebody said it in general chat. That one dude said, I got this fire lady over here yelling Pootzilla.
Twin says, your strength.
Sometimes he kind of holds it. He says it differently sometimes. It's been fun. It's just like, come on, put on to me. Stuff.
Lahive says, nice. ICL0UD says, GGS. Lahive says, THX for the heals and DPS iCloud. ICL0UD says, NP, GLHF guys.
Murphy, can you look up people's builds?
Lahive says, that the Pally build?
Man. Right, because that was pretty stout. That's the first time I've seen a... Yeah, that's the first time I've seen that where it's the healer, in person, the healer with the Warhammer thing. Or 200 axe, I mean, yeah.
Motok0 says, GF. ICL0UD says, not Idrake. ICL0UD says, GA is to keep me alive. SPRSTNR says, thanks mate. ICL0UD says, LS is to keep you guys alive.
Nice ice gauntlet.
Venick says,
plus 6.9% damage on light and heavy attacks. Mm-hmm. And then anything I should sell is anything that's got one solid stat that's really high, right? Like here's a plus 14 intel rapier and a plus 14 dex. The intel probably isn't good for a rapier, right? But for the deck, there's the spear's got plus 14 dex. Oh, nice. Okay. Okay. So this has got plus 14 intel and plus 8.9% damage to angry earth.
Taliban says, any Covenant want to fight this fort?
What you need, man? Strength Strength gear, right? Okay, I'm looking. Anything for heavy?
Philly BOI says, thanks BB.
I don't see anything heavy that's worth it. It's all dex and strength or dex and... Let's see.
Just Bro says, thanks. Recalls says,
Drop
thank you.
rating 7.